Well, hello everyone. Uh, this is Pastor Chris and Pastor Dennis, and we're just here to kind of give you guys a quick update on kind of our church, Vinewood CFC Berkeley, and kind of the direction that we are headed in regards to our Sunday services, especially since, as many of you know, the cases are going up. Pretty much most of all of California is in the purple tier. We just wanted to give you guys some updates in the direction of how all this impacts our church and kind of the decisions that the Vinewood leadership has made, as well as Vinewood members have made kind of moving forward. And so with that, I'll hand it over to you, Dennis, to let us know what's going on.
Yeah, hey, thank you everybody for your patience. It's been a while and we've been trying to figure all this out during the pandemic. Obviously, we thought that, well, one, for me, I thought that we would be able to get out of this a little bit sooner, gathering in some way, form, or fashion, social distance or whatever. But as Pastor Chris said, the numbers are going up, and with everything going on, we really need to reevaluate everything. And I want to give kind of briefly the three main driving factors uh, that really influences how we decide things and what we're thinking of and what's in the back of our minds while we're making these decisions. So first, we actually care a lot about the church, our local church, and also just the definition: what is a church? What is a church? What is its function? How are we supposed to gather? And I think through this whole time, it has taught us and many other churches the seriousness of what the church is, and really test our doctrine and theology of the church. And so for us, we landed on a couple of things. I think the first is that we understand that the church is made up of believers, not a building, but is also made up of a gathered group of believers. So not just believers in general, but a gathered group. So for those who are members of CFC Berkeley and part of the Vinewood CFC congregation, the English congregation of CFC Berkeley, we are the gathered believers. And so we had to ask ourselves, what does gathered mean? Does it mean that we get to just watch a YouTube stream together? Does it mean that we can hop on a Zoom call together? Does that mean that we gather together and hang out and have a potluck? Or what does all that mean? And we understood that gathering for the purpose of worship, singing the word, preaching the word, praying the word. And obviously, that is a really hard time for us right now to physically gather together, which we think that is the clearest expression of the church. The second driving factor, because if that was the only driving factor, we would have just gathered together. The second driving factor is safety, obviously, that we do not deny that a pandemic is going on. We do not deny that it is dangerous and that we need to be very safe. And for love of neighbor, and for us to be a good testimony, good witness, that we actually take this seriously. And so we have been, as you know, we've been doing YouTube and YouTube live stream and things like that, finding different ways, our Zoom small groups, because we understand that this is important. We understand that it is a real serious issue. And we understand that this is short term and it is not going to last forever, Lord willing. And third, we do want to honor the government. And I know the government has been giving out a lot of guidelines, and I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about those things, the legitimacy of it, the constitutionality of it, all these things. We understand that it's a very complicated situation, but we want to do our best to, one, act slow, not jump to conclusions, and honor the government the best we can. And we actually take those three in order. Those are the three most important things. First, what is the church? Two, the safety of the church, the members, and the community around. And third, honoring the government. So with that being said, we are still not gathering for the time being. I'm not saying that we will never gather. I think that since these are three principles that we really have used to guide our decision process, they're in order. So sometimes we might come to the place where we feel like we will need to risk some safety for us to gather. Right now, I don't think we're at that place yet, but perhaps maybe eventually, where we see the numbers trending down or things and that thing, this or that. that we might feel like it is actually appropriate for us to take some risk to gather together. Just like how we take some risks to shop for groceries or some risk to do this or that, that perhaps in the future we would have to evaluate that. Also, there may come a day, and I'm not saying it will or will not, that we might have to say it is unclear to us if these government mandates are appropriate for the church setting. It may come to that we might have to say these government mandates are unhelpful and might kind of maybe push the edge a little too much, that we feel like we will no longer honor God and no longer be a good witness as the church if we follow these mandates. We are not there yet. And honestly, I don't think we will get there. I don't foresee us having to ever make those types of decisions. But at the end of the day, right now, what we are choosing to do is we decided that we are going to try a new experiment, and that is going to be Zoom worship. And we decided to shift in this direction for a few reasons. One, we understand that it will never replace the physical gathering. It won't. That's just not going to happen until we can actually physically gather together. But we do feel like for us, it was just a simple comparison. YouTube live stream versus Zoom, which one would take us a step closer to that direction? And we didn't think too hard or long about it. We're not overthinking it. We're just like, we think that if we do a Zoom, it might actually foster a little better community, and that will foster a little more of us worshiping together, this oneness. And I understand that Zoom is not going to do that fully, but I think it might be better than doing it YouTube live stream, where it's a very one-way thing. And so we decided that those would fit all three criteria. We'll continue to honor the government, we'll continue to be safe, but I think it'll give us an opportunity to have some accountability, that you will be able to see other people's faces when we scroll through each page, and we'll still have live, we'll have worship, we'll have preaching. We've been testing out different types of technology. As you can see, I am trying to use a different camera. Hopefully I look better. And then Chris and I have gotten lapel mics, so hopefully we'll sound better. So we are doing our best because we think that it is important. And so with that being said, that's where we're heading. We're going to start on December
13th.
13th.
Yep, December 13th.
And we're going to go for 1 month, right? Four weeks of it. And we're going to just see how it goes. We want your feedback. We care about your feedback. We care what you think. And we're going to see how it goes. Don't worry if anything happens. I know some of you all still have to work and have to go in, and you're making sacrifices. We will post the video after service. But we want to use that as a time for those who are unable to make it, not because you slept in, though I understand time to time it might happen, but that's where the accountability comes in, right? Like, maybe for on rare occasions you're unable to make it, you can still watch. But we hope that it would be the normal practice for us to gather in this way as we actually get together one day. And so, yeah, that's kind of the big spiel of it all, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Pastor Dennis. Yeah, so just to clarify again, we are going to move from a kind of uploading live stream kind of format onto YouTube or even pre-recorded. We're moving to a Zoom format, which many churches have done before, and thank goodness for Zoom to enable us to do that so that we all can see all of you, and that would be a huge help for us, and you can see us and kind of be a lot more interactive, and I think that that would be beneficial. But like Dennis said, it's an experiment. We're going to try that for a couple of weeks. We're going to start again December 13th on Zoom all the way to about January 10th, 2020, and we'll reevaluate and see if this is effective, but also know that when we use Zoom, we're actually going to be doing this from home. We're not going to be going into the church building, and who knows if Zoom really works out and the leadership and the members of the church really like that, we might move to a live format where all of us are the teams, the preaching, all of that happens at church, but we're still using Zoom as the kind of output for that. And so everyone will still log into Zoom and see the church rather than just Dennis at his home and myself at my home. But for now, for safety, because it's the holidays and and kind of for health, kind of the second point that Dennis said, we're going to be staying home and kind of leading worship and preaching and doing announcements all from home, but using Zoom. And so the Zoom link will be posted on our website. And so please click that link and you'll be able to get in and join us on Sunday mornings at 9:40 a.m. And so we look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks. Love you. See you soon.
Bye. See
Bye.
you soon. Bye.